My name is Shanitra Brown. I'm going to give you an informative speech today about HIV and AIDS. HIV. Everybody wonders what is the meaning of HIV. Do you all know the meaning of HIV? Yes. Okay. HIV stands for Human Immune Deficiency Virus. H, human. This particular virus can only affect humans. Immune deficiency. HIV weakens your immune system by destroying important cells that fight diseases and infections. A deficiency immune system can't protect you. V for virus. A virus can only reproduce itself by taking over a cell in the body of its host. I'm going to give you all a handout here. This handout basically shows the progression of HIV and AIDS. You go by the arrows. It'll let you know. It'll let you know pretty much on this handout. It's based off the nyclu.org, shows the progression of HIV to AIDS over the years. Yes, first you would have a negative, then an HIV positive. About 6 weeks to 6 months, you're going to have antibodies forming. You do the blood test will come back and let you know if you have HIV or not. Yeah, you can have HIV and still feel healthy, normal, and everything. You can look normal with HIV. So, you can have it for about 1, maybe to 12 years. And with that, it will progress to AIDS and things like that. AIDS, you can live with AIDS for a while, but most of the time you have AIDS. I guess in this day and age, they make medicine for it. So it doesn't cure it, but it helps you. So HIV breakdown. The cells. Your T cells are CD4 cells. Those are basically it's a part of your body and it attacks a key part of your immune system. Your body has to have those cells to fight infections and diseases. But HIV invades them, uses them to make more copies of itself and then destroys them. HIV can destroy so many of your CD4 cells that your body can't fight infections and diseases anymore. When that happens, HIV infection can lead to AIDS. HIV at a glance. According to AIDS.gov, more than 35 million people in the United States are living with HIV infection, and almost 1 in 6, 15.8%, are unaware of their infection. Highest rating to get HIV. Gay, bisexual, and other men who have sex with men, particularly young black men, African American, are more seriously affected by HIV. By race, African Americans face the most severe burden of HIV. Okay, you all know the meaning of AIDS. What the AIDS stands for.
No, what is it?
AIDS stands for Acquired Immune Deficiency Syndrome. AIDS is the final stage of HIV infection. People at this stage of HIV disease have badly damaged immune systems, which put them at risk for opportunist infections. You will be diagnosed with AIDS if you have one or more specific OIs, certain cancers, or a very low number of CD4 cells. If you have AIDS, you will need medical intervention and treatment to prevent death. Okay, the history of HIV. Where did it come from? Where did it come from? According to the AIDS Institute.org, scientists identified a type of chimpanzee in West African as the source of HIV infection in humans. They believe that the chimpanzee version of the virus, called SIV, most likely was transmitted to humans and mutated into HIV when it comes hunted. These chimpanzees was hunted basically for meat and blood and things like that. And when they ate them, they basically contacted the virus and it started spreading then. According to MayoClinic.com, there are different symptoms, including, depending on this phase. The first phase is the primary infection. The majority of people infected by HIV develop the flu-like illness within a month or two after the virus enters the body. Although the symptoms of HIV infection may be mild, enough to go unnoticed, the amount of virus in the bloodstream is high at this time. HIV usually develops into AIDS in about 10 years. Once it enters your body, it can take anywhere from 6 weeks to 6 months for you to get any type of symptoms. Those symptoms can be flu, fever, chills, anything like that. So, according to the United States Fund, USA.org, new infections among children under 15 years old dropped 35% globally between 2009 and 2012. 850,000 new HIV infections among children in low middle income countries were prevented between 2005 and 2012. Back then, they didn't have any type of medicine to prevent babies from getting HIV. If the mother carried the HIV, 9 times out of 10 the baby carried it back then. But 62% of pregnant women living with HIV in the highest HIV-burden countries received services to prevent mother-to-child transmission in 2002. So, according to the handout, that's going to be the end. Do you all have any questions for me?
Yes, I have a question. You said in 10 years it takes up to 10 years for somebody to get AIDS?
In 10 years.
In 10 years?
Mm-hmm.
So what if you had HIV and you stop taking your medicine? How long does it take for you to catch it in?
If you have HIV and you stop taking the medicine, according to some facts that I've read off of AIDSgov.com, HIV is not curable. So once you take the medicine, it just pretty much develops a little bit faster to AIDS. It's not. It can be anywhere from 0 to 10 years. Not saying that it's going to take exactly 10 years. It might take a little less time. The medicine just progresses to go a little longer. So if you take your medicine, you might get it in 10 years. You might get it in 12 years. But it is going to eventually progress to AIDS.
Okay.
Next question.
The next one is, what did you say the AIDS stand for? American?
No, ma'am. AIDS stands for Acquired Immune Deficiency Syndrome.
Okay. And another question on here. What are some of the symptoms you say that when you first, how can you first find out that you have it? What are some of an easy symptom that you can tell that's what's going on with you?
There's really no easy symptom to figure out if you have AIDS. The easiest symptom is to go and get a blood test.
A blood test.
Get a blood test. That's the best way. Because a symptom, you can have fevers and chills just by having a cold. Or you can have fevers and chills just by having an STD or something else. So you have to get a blood test to know exactly what you have. So there's no easy way to do it perfectly normal. You don't know that.
So you were saying earlier in your paragraph about that a particular monkey species had. So my thing is, how did they change it from when an animal had it to up to now when it became HIV and AIDS? But they didn't have it same when it was with an animal.
Because when the animals had it, it was called SIV. SIV, what it stand for? What it stand for? It has something to do with some type of species, monkey, animal and things like that. The reason why humans couldn't get it then was because it wasn't for humans. That's the reason why they changed the name to human immune deficiency. So, only reason why the people got it from the monkey was because they used to hunt the chimpanzees. The chimpanzees would already be infected. So if they're infected and you eat infected meat, then you're going to get whatever they're carrying.
So by you saying that now, what is another type of way that you can also catch HIV or AIDS besides having sexual activities?
Needles. You can't catch it by kissing. You can't catch it by coughing on somebody. You can't catch it by hugging somebody. It's bodily fluids.
Slobber.
Yeah.
You can catch it kissing by slobber.
Yeah.
I have another question.
So if you got it and you kissing somebody all tongue, this, that, whatever, you can catch it. If you do tattoos and things like that, and the needle's infected and this and that, you can catch it. Drugs, people use needles and things, you can catch it. So, yeah, you catch it like that. It has to be bodily fluids, blood, and things like that.
What is HIV?
HIV is immune deficiency virus.
I have one more question. What if you was born with HIV and you had a partner? Can you catch it? Is it hard for you to transfer it to your partner?
No, if the person was born with the HIV, of course they're gonna have it. Not sure how long it would take for that person for the progress, because usually on some information that I read, they say when the baby is born with it, most of the time the baby will die before the age of 1. But they have medicine now to prevent the baby from even catching it. But back then they didn't have that type of medicine, so people was born with it back then. And if they did have a partner that they slept with and things like that, it's transferable, of course, because the virus is
Within the mother.
But I don't know how easy or how hard it is to catch. I would think fairly easy, because they say you sleep with somebody that has it, you catch it too, and things like that. So I'm really not sure how that works, but according to what I've heard, I think it's fairly easy for you to catch it.
So what else are you saying is that people in Africa are at a high risk of catching it?
It's not just Africa.
Not just like, by they don't have the proper utensils or the
Back then, Africa was a high country to have HIV and things like that. Low class, they didn't have the things like that. But now, the United States is the highest country to have HIV. And black people are the highest among all those races to have it. Young black men and young black women between the ages of 15 up until 25.
Okay. Thank you. Good information.
Yeah, sure
Good
was.
information. Thank you very much.
Y'all can keep that.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate your presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.